You in one of those situations where your client isn't paying up. You're now at the point where you've finished the job, but you still have not received that payment. That's quite gut-wrenching, and it can create a lot of problems between you and the client, especially if you are actively chasing. Maybe you've called them, maybe you've set up a video call, you've emailed them, but they just are not paying, and you're not really getting any formal or proper explanation as to why. What could you have done to protect yourself, and what could you do to try and get back what you are owed? Of course, I want to stress though that I am advising you of what you might want to do to protect yourself and also what you
should not do.
So let's kick off with what you should not do. You've done the website, the client's got it, they've not paid the final 50% or whatever was owing. Don't log into their website and now delete anything, because if they've got access to it, right, and they have admin rights, the minute you log in afterwards out of spite or because you're feeling like,
right, I'm going to do some serious damage here,
and you go in and you delete or wreck the website, they could bring a case against you. Also, if you have access to their host provider, so it's not on yours, okay, it's on their own host provider, whoever they're with, don't log in and again wreck or affect the website, because they could bring a case against you. Now you might say, well, I have every right to do that. I worked long hours, late at night, doing that website for them. Why can't I sort this out? They owe me money. Yeah, but your reputation also matters, okay? And you have to balance off the impact, because they could bring a huge case against you. The third thing you should not do, even if you were to log in, whether it's via the provider or their actual website, is go and stick on a landing page that says, this person has not paid, please contact your web designer. Because they could say, by you doing that, they lost business. Maybe people weren't using their website for a day or two. And then they might say, hypothetically or potentially, we lost out on $1,000. And you might say, well, you can't really prove that because you think you lost that, so it's all virtual. But they could bring a case against you. If they can show, here's the income, here's the number of leads, here's the number of sales we were getting, and then boom, at the point you went and interfered with their website. So they are 3 things you really should not do. In fact, there's a few more. Don't start going on social media. Hey, this company's not paid me, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Don't start putting any defamation comments, because that can also go against you. They could bring a case against you for that as well. Now, different parts of the country will say, well, we can do that. You're in the UK. You can't do that. Ha ha ha, but I can get away with that where I am. Okay, I'm not advising you on what you can and can't do in your own geographical locations around the world. But remember, don't do anything that backfires against you, your reputation, your integrity, and your business. Now let's cross into what you can do. I bet you've got a contract in place, or I would like to think you've got a contract in place. So at some point, you would have made an agreement with them to say, this is what we're going to be doing. Here's the milestones, and here's what's being paid at what stage. You also would have made very clear that at the end or the handover, the final payment would be sent. So you've got that contract that you can go back to them with. Of course, though, it's very easy for us to say that, but how many are actually then going to go and take action with that? Are you now going to get in touch with like a lawyer or solicitor or someone and take a legal case against them? Gets very complicated, doesn't it, when they're in a different country now, or maybe the contact details you had for them, suddenly you find it goes to like a hill on a mountain, and you go, they don't even live there. That's the address to a hill. Where are they? Gets very complicated. Just like the other way round as well. Is your client likely to enforce a contract as well? Again, I'm not trying to get into legal disputes here, but I do want to say the contract is key. But do bear in mind though, if the client owes you like, I don't know, say $100, right? $100 or £100 in the UK, we could almost scratch that off if we knew it's not worth pursuing. But if you were based in, say, Pakistan, India, South Africa, about $100 is worth a lot of money. But again, are you going to go in and take action against them for that? I don't know. That's not my decision to make. But the contract can psychologically influence people. If you start to remind them, well, by the way, Section 28, or what this bit of the contract did state that you would pay, they might come round to that. There is no guarantee. They could still run away and laugh at you and whatever, and you kind of have to now think about what you next do. That could still happen, but at least you have that contract. The second thing you could do contradicts what I said earlier about what you should not do. Don't log into their website. Don't go to their host provider either. Because if they have admin rights as well, you're now crossing a fine line. However, if you built the website for them and you have admin rights, you're the main admin, right? You are the admin. They don't have admin rights, okay? Or it was on your host provider, so you provided the hosting service as well. And they're like, yeah, look, you know, things are a bit tough. I'll get back to you next week. Yeah, I'm just waiting for my wages to roll in. I lent some money to my uncle, and you know what my uncle, you know what he's like, he's gone off on a worldwide adventure, and when he gets back, I'll pay you back. Where you have access, and they don't, and it's your host, you're the main admin, like literally, you are the admin, you could then give them a warning. Look, if you don't pay me in the next 4 or 5 working days, you've got to give them a reasonable time. Don't just say, I'm going to do it today.
I'm going to do it tomorrow. You've got 24 hours.
You know, or we're coming after you. No, none of that. Give them about 4 or 5 working days. And then say, look, if you don't pay, I'm going to have to put a notice on the website and I'm going to have to suspend the website. They might not care at this point. They might go, fine, do it. I don't really care. Well, that kind of tells you your answer. So now you know, right, forget it. I'll give them the 4 days. Even if they say to you, no, we don't care, whatever, blah, we've had enough of the website. Still wait 4 to 5 days. Because if they ever then try to come back at you, well, I know you told me, but I didn't think you were serious and you went and deleted my website. Again, legal arguments start to get very grey and murky here. So make sure you give them that 4 to 5, no matter what their answer. If at the end of that, they have not paid, you can go in and suspend the website. You could even, if you want, take a backup and remove it. You could do what you want then, okay? You've been very clear. However, I would also stress that when you do get to that 5th day, give them another call before you do it. Give them that one final chance. Make a record of when you have contacted them as well. I know lots of people that go, oh yeah, I've been chasing for about 4 months. And I go, have you kept a record? Well, I sent the odd chat, WhatsApp, whatever. I go, no, try and keep a record. Because if it ever gets murky, you want to be able to back yourself up. The third thing that you could have done, and this is very retrospect, because once you're in this situation, it's a little bit difficult to get out of it. The third thing you could have done is made sure that in the contract you clearly stipulated that they would not get access to the website, whether it's in terms of admin rights, whether it's terms of moving it from a local area to their website, maybe it's migrating it over, until they've paid that final amount. And you do let them know, don't worry, once that final amount is made, we will then make sure the links are working and none of your images have gone from a HTTP to a HTTPS or the other way around, and the padlock's missing on the site lock and all of that. No, we'll sort all of that out, because then the client has to pay. Now, that sounds wonderful, except when you are doing it on the client's website. So I'm talking about situations where you're almost building from scratch sometimes, but what if you've got a client who has an existing website? They've got a legacy host, they've got legacy admin rights, maybe someone else helped build it for them. They need you to do a makeover, page speed performance, mobile optimization. Maybe there's something they need. Oh, my products need jigging around. Okay, I'll go and jig it for you. You're going to do all of this for them. They've got full-on rights. I don't do that work unless they pay up front. So a brand new website build, yeah, okay, we will work on a business model of 50% upfront, 50% at the end before we hand it over. That's how we operate. But if it's an existing website, and I know a lot of clients get a bit funny of this, and then I have to let them know, look, I'm really sorry, but I have been in situations where people, I'm not saying you, but people, we do the work and then they don't pay. But because they kind of gave us permission to be on their site, well, once the work's done, they remove your admin rights, right? They'll change the password on the host provider. What are you going to do? Like, really? Even when you got a contract, is it really worth pursuing sometimes? So I would say if the client has already got an existing website and they ask you to do something, you get payment in full. And this now comes a bit full circle into, well, what if I have built the website and they're not paying? Well, make sure you get payments at milestones. When we make a proposal or a quote, and then I will say, here's the price, and 50%, let's say I say it's a 5-day project, and I say 50% is paid at the beginning. That 50%, most of the time, covers what I would have wanted to have got paid for the 5 days. So if the job goes sour, or things break up, or the client tries to do a runner, I still got paid. The final 50% is the extra gravy on the mashed potato with the Nando's chicken, all right? That's what you're getting at the end. So try and think about your business model. And if you have one of these situations where they have been paying, and then right at the end now, they've paid almost practically what they need to pay for the website build. But now they want a little bit extra. Oh yeah, I now do want the SEO and the keywords and my indexing and search console connections. I now do want an extra little bit for analytics or something else. You know, oh, can we have another page? I know we said we weren't, but can I have something a little bit extra? And you're thinking, well, they've paid so far, on time, no issue. I like working with them. Sure, why not?
Big mistake.
Get the payment up front. Because if they have access to that website, they've got admin rights, or it's on their host. Even if it's not on their host, please bear this in mind. It could be on your host, right? But if they've got admin rights, they can really easily install a plugin like Updraft, All-in-One Migration, WP Vivid, whatever they want, and they could go and get a backup of that website. So even when you go, right, sod it, I'm getting rid of it, they're not going to care. They could just go to 123reg, set up a new account, they've got the backup, they install it, there might be a bit of jigging, but they're going to have the bulk of that website for free. It's a very difficult situation to handle when you're in it, but you need to now take a step back. Once you've experienced a few of them, you're going to change your mindset. So what you've really got to think about is your contract, stipulations over when they will pay. What point do you give them access? Do you take 50% and 50% at the end? Do you take full payment, especially if they've already got access to the website? And most of all, don't become one of those people that goes, right, I'm going to suspend your website without notice. I'm going to put a message on your website.
Ha 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 ha! What will you do now?
Trust me, you don't want to get caught in that defamation or that kind of they come back at you with force kind of thing, because it ain't fun. And I know lots of people that have tried that and they get burnt from it. So don't do that. I hope this advice helps. Don't forget to go and join our How to Start a Web Design Business, our Mastery modules, where we now have parity pricing based on your geographical locations. So go and check that out. The link's down there. Go and check out our website. Hey, I'm Imran Web Squadron. I hope you like, subscribe, share, and follow. I'll see you soon.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat.